Laura.
Yes.
Yes. Nice to see you here. I've been looking forward to this session for a while, and I just lost all my notes. So let's. I did want to start off. I did want to start off by saying congratulations.
Thanks.
You made the #2 list on the Quantum Index. As a leader in the healthcare industry, what do you think contributed to that?
Well, thank you, first off, for the honor and the recognition on the Quantum Index. I think what contributed mostly to it is the culture of Cleveland Clinic and just our nature, as an organization. Since we're here in London, and I don't know how many people know about Cleveland Clinic and what we do. Cleveland Clinic is a hospital system that started in Cleveland, in Ohio, with 4 physicians who came back from World War I back in 1921 and decided that there is a better way to practice medicine than opening up a shop of one physician at a time. And they started a group practice, which was a new concept at the time. From when they started, their mission statement was to take care of the sick, research their problems, and educate those who serve. Fast forward 100 years later, in 2021, we are an organization that is global across 3 continents, 83,000 people are employed by Cleveland Clinic, 23 hospitals, 220 outpatient clinics, a research portfolio that is over $500 million every year in annual spending. 2/3 of that are from federal grants, crossing all of the biomedical research areas. Our physical research footprint is 400,000 square feet, with about 2,000 people who work there, purely just doing wet bench biomedical research. In 2021, we were at that 100-year timeline. We took a time out and thought ahead of what can we do to make a difference that would propel us through the next 100 years. So it is that long-term strategic thinking that was important. The second one was the way we were structured, where those 3 missions with education, clinical care, and research are aligned, not just on paper, but administratively speaking, they are aligned. We all report our medical school, our research institution, and our hospital have the same CEO. So administratively, things flow well. We are aligned geographically. So we all sit across from each other. So that is important when you are talking about something new that you want to develop. And it was at that time, the third thing that really contributed was, of course, the funding. We entered in a partnership with our local government, the state of Ohio, and Jobs Ohio, an economic development agency. And together with them, the clinic co-invested with the state and Jobs Ohio, a total of $565 million, so about $500 million, into developing an innovation district that is anchored around biotechnology in Cleveland. And that was the catalyst that got so many things started, including quantum computing.
Well, that was going to be my next question. What inspired you to look at quantum computing and use quantum computing? Obviously, we're at a conference here with a lot of people in the industry. So what was it specifically about this technology that you said, this is an area we're going to focus our priorities on?
It's a technology that was, at the time, it was the future, right? And you don't really survive as long as we did in Cleveland Clinic and have an impact across the globe if you're just thinking about the immediate future. Actually, we have a Cleveland Clinic here in London. It's called the Cleveland, and I would encourage people to go check it. We've been open. This was our last location to open. Our first international location was in Abu Dhabi, then in Toronto, and then the London location opened a couple of years ago. We provide clinical care, and we're launching research there too. And they are connected to our quantum, ecosystem that we have in the US, as well as our innovations in marketing. But what got us in 2021 to commit to quantum computing was that long-term vision I was speaking to. we thought that if all we do in the computational space is purely in classical machine learning and AI, that's what the whole world is doing. There would be no differentiator for us when it comes to how we tackle biomedical research. And our people had problems. When you have 2,000 people working in research, they all have problems that they cannot really solve with the technology of today. So it was logical, really, for us to start investing and learning in quantum. And that investment went as far as installing a quantum computer on site. It is in the middle of our research facility, which is right across from our hospital. It's an IBM system, 127 qubits, which will be soon upgraded to the Heron chip. And we use it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I saw that. It was big. It made the news.
Yeah.
And that the Cleveland Clinic bought that, and a lot of work with those partners. Tell me if you can share. I'd like to understand, what are the most promising use cases that you guys are working in? If you can share with us, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, that would be great. Before I answer that, though, I want to address you used the word bot. We didn't buy a quantum computer. What we did is we partnered with IBM Research. There is a whole structure to how that partnership is organized. And having a quantum computer on site is one piece of it.
I see. So they put their quantum computer in your location.
But it's our quantum computer. But the whole, the way it's structured, which is... I bet one question in from the audience is, how do we do this? And
I want to know how you negotiate it.
Not that.
To give me a quantum computer, you can put it at my place, and you can call it there.
And then you can. Yeah. But it's not about the negotiation. It's about how do you develop a quantum ecosystem, and that goes beyond getting a machine. That's the point I want to make, is if you just take a shiny piece of hardware and then plop it in the middle of your facility, that's not developing a quantum strategy. And that's why it was important, as we made that decision, to think about what all needs to go into it and who are all the partners that we need to be working with, and how closely do we align, with them.
Yeah. So you won't share with me the use cases?
The use cases. So there is a lot. So we have now a pipeline of about 56 projects that are going on in the Discovery Accelerator. That's what we call the program. They're not all in quantum. I'd say a bit over a dozen are in quantum. It's all quantum computing. We would love to do quantum sensing. So for those in the audience who are in that space, please reach out.
People after this.
Yeah. In the quantum computing space, what we're doing falls under three categories. There is quantum chemistry, simulations, drug discovery, and that is promising with the progress that we're making in partnership with IBM and others, in that we are basically dissecting step by step the drug discovery problem, and then looking in each one of those steps, what is it that the technology of today can do with quantum, and how do we find the areas where whatever we learn from it is something that we could scale once the technology itself scales. And then the second promising area is under the quantum machine learning. That's more under the biomarker discovery umbrella.
Excellent. And I think you answered some of my next question, which is you can't do quantum computing in isolation.
Correct.
You need to find key partners, both hardware and software partners.
Correct.
You've already mentioned some, and I'm sure IBM won't mind if you mention them again.
Yeah.
But who are the different partners that you're working with that you seem to help you get to your second place in the quantum index?
Yeah, first place.
First, yes. Okay, there we go.
And I think if you waited a little bit, you would have been the first place. But so yes, it goes beyond industry. Really, what you need for that, at least the way we're doing it. So we're partnering with all the different entities that need to come together to create that innovation district, right? It's first off, you can't really throw a little bit of money and accept it to really make a change. So that's why we partnered with the government and that was the Innovation District investment. Second is you need the universities, because without the workforce that can really be trained to be applying that technology, it's, the whole thing will fall apart. So we partnered with our local universities. Their engineering students can come work in our labs. One of them, actually, the University of Miami, is ranked in the top 10 in entrepreneurship training. And they have an engineering program. So we're starting with them an engineering program that will be giving bachelor's, master's, and PhD degrees in quantum. Science. So, and their students will be doing their rotations 9 months at a time in our lab. So we're that closely working with the local universities, and we're in conversations now to do this with other universities across the nation and elsewhere. We partnered with foundations. The Novo Nordisk Foundation is supporting postdoc programs with postdoc students coming from Denmark to our labs, or going from our labs to Denmark. Each would spend 4 years, so it's really a long, like it's a full postdoc program to study AI and quantum. We partnered with UNESCO. We are happy about that, to provide access through the remote access program to scientists in the global south so they can use our machine and advance their mission. And startups. So again, startups in the audience, you can reach out. We have a startup catalyzer program, which we launched a year and a half ago for the first time. It was a trial. We said, if you're a startup, you're interested in healthcare and life sciences, and you want to apply quantum or advanced AI, compete. Had a competition. And then we identified the top 3, and what we gave them was access to the machine and our teams. This year, we're pushing that up a notch, where each startup that will win will get around $500,000 of cash and time on the machine, split half and half. And we will see, what that will attract. But it really takes that like the panel before was speaking to, how you need to have the multi-layer commitment to making this work. And that's exactly how we're going about our partnerships.
What advice would you give other healthcare leaders that are sitting on the sidelines?
Yes.
And saying, when and how do I invest in quantum capabilities?
Well, it depends really on where they are in their journey as an organization and what their strategic priorities are, and how much is research and development, I would say, inherent to their mission versus not. Like if we were not a research entity, in Cleveland Clinic, in addition to being a clinical care provider, I don't know that it would have made sense for us now, to be investing in quantum. If you're purely looking at it as a technology that can help you optimize operations, and you want it to be, commercial scale, then I would say wait. But if you are looking at it and you find value in the research side of it, then don't wait too long.
Yeah. No, without a doubt, this is not a technology you want to wait long. All right. I see we got the blinking lights. They're trying to get us off a stage really quick. So imagine 5 years from now.
Yeah.
What would you like to see the Cleveland Clinic talk about from a quantum perspective that you've achieved or that's come out of your quantum efforts?
Well, I think the best success would be us not having to talk about it because it became the expectation, or it became so mainstream that there is really nothing special about solving a biomedical problem in quantum versus I hope we would stop using the versus when we talk about quantum and machine learning and AI. The success that I hope we would all see is getting to a future where all of those technologies really work seamlessly together and are accessible to the end user in a way that makes any technology successful, right? It has to be cheap, fast, accessible, do something either cheaper or faster or better, right? One of those three things. So if we can prove that quantum computing has some application that by itself it can do cheaper, faster, or better, or some space where in combination with machine learning, we figured out that magic sauce of how they can work together to solve biomedical research problems cheaper, faster, or better. That's the success that I'm hoping for. And I know we are in a great place to define it in Cleveland Clinic because that's all we're thinking about.
Yeah, fantastic place. Anyway, I want to say thank you very much.
Thank
that
you.
was very insightful. And I would like you guys to give a big hand out to Laura and all her work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.